Hello, welcome to Spawn TV Live. We're coming to you live from the headquarters of the Unity Party here in Monrovia, Liberia, where the standard bearer of the political party, this Unity Party, Ambassador Joseph BOAKAI, is expected to address the nations on the just and by-elections in Lofa County. So wherever you are, I want to say a very good evening to you from Liberia. So you can please share the video with us. We're right here quickly. We will be joining the podium there. And here I see the presence of the chairman of the Unity Party, Ami Moda, and the Unity Party candidate in the just ended Senatorial election. Glakbai Kutima is also here. And Mo Ali and Benana Yure of the All Liberian Party is also here, and very shortly they will begin the press conference. So those of you listening to our Spawn 107.5, please to let you know, this is a special live conference here from the headquarters of the Unity Party in Monrovia, where you see dignitaries or high delegation from the Unity Party being pretty much seated as ready to address the nation concerning the just ended by elections in Lofa County. My name is Simano Kotu. If you're out there, thank you for being part of this broadcast. Very shortly, we'll be turning over to Mo Ali, the Secretary General of the party, and then later on we'll have the standard bearer who is ready to come in here. So if you're out there, please make sure that you share the video with your relatives and friends and the nation as well, to be able to get a full understanding of what is the Unity Party going to set after the by-elections in Lofa County. At this point, we can say has been declared by the National Elections Commission. The independent candidate, Councillor Jala, is the winner of the elections held in Lofa. But then some will be hearing some grapevine information that the Unity Party want to speak on some of these issues. So at this point, we will just cross over quickly to the team, and then they will be giving a live update from their camp.
SD, welcome. The standard bearer of the Unity Party.
No. You got clear here.
Yeah. And our recorder.
Afternoon. Good afternoon to all. Let me say our apologies to the press for keeping you waiting. This very, very long time, you've been very patient with us. As we are all aware, the results pronounced by the National Elections Commission was done amidst acrimony and postings on their website that did not represent what obtained on the ground. And I'm sure our supporters and partisans have been waiting to hear from the Unity Party, particularly its standard bearer. So we've come today to present to you a press statement, after which we will take just 3 questions, and that will be it. Let me now present to you the standard bearer of the Unity Party, His Excellency, former Vice President Joseph BOAKAI.
Good afternoon. I only see gentlemen where the ladies. They're pushing them to the back, as usual. Partisans and supporters of the Unity Party, our present partners, and all partisans of the All Liberian Party and its leadership, our allies, Senator Jonathan Swoby and representatives of the Representative Yaka Korba, citizens of Lofa County, members of the Fourth Estate, fellow Liberians. We want to address you today on the just ended senatorial elections in Lofa County and to explain what Unity Party's own position is regarding our observation of the conduct of the elections. First, I want to start by thanking the great people of Lofa County for their continuing support for the Unity Party and for myself in particular. Our partisan party representatives have submitted their reports to us, and from the reports, we observe once again that the Unity Party has won 4 out of 5 electoral districts in Lofa County. We extend our sincere appreciation to all of the people of Lofa County for the level of maturity they exhibited during this period. We received no reports of violence, as the people of Lofa are, once again, they chose to be peaceful in their lives and in their politics. We also want to thank those who worked along with us in our collaborative efforts in Lofa. We want to thank Honorable Benani Uri and the men and women of the All Liberian Party who braved the bad road conditions to visit Lofa during the very crucial time. We equally want to thank Honorable Jumbly Kanga Lawrence and the men and women of the Liberty Party, including Senator Darius Steeler of Montserrat County, who spent time and tremendous effort in this regard. Our thanks also go to Senator Jonathan Borchard Sobe of River G County and Representative Yeke Kolba of District Number 10, Montserrat County, who visited Lofa to show support and solidarity for the Unity Party. These are all very good signs of the opposition coming together to achieve our objective of building a better Liberia. To the national leadership of the Unity Party and Lofa chapter, we also say thank you for everything. The reason why senatorial elections in Lofa at this time was necessary is known to many of you. On June 28, 2022, the people of Lofa County went to the polls to elect a senator to fill the vacant senatorial seat created as a result of the Supreme Court of Liberia imposition of hurdles on Brownie J. Samuka, who legitimately won the special senatorial elections in 2020. Since the period from 2020 to now, Lofa County has been without a second senator, as authorities of the government have exerted all efforts to prevent Mr. Samuka from taking his seat. The seat was declared vacant through a process that was clearly not legitimate. The will of the people of Lofa was trampled upon, and they were requested to choose again in the just ended senatorial elections. Although we were not entirely happy with this arbitrary declaration of a vacant seat in Lofa, we nonetheless decided to participate in the process, since our people have been without senator for 2 years out of the 9-year term. We submitted the name of Galapai Kotima as our candidate to take part in the elections. This was immediately objected by our former allies, who insisted that we could not field a candidate because of our previous disputed arrangements in the CPP. In order to get this cleared up, our legal team had to go all the way to the Supreme Court of Liberia. All of these obstacles were put in our way to prevent our full participation in the senatorial race and to prevent the Unity Party from retaining the seat. We frown on this kind of political manipulation on the part of the authorities. Our recent history has shown that these or those in authority have to exercise their power lawfully and fairly, as the reaction of the people to being mistreated can be harsh. Now that the elections have ended and the National Election Commission has declared a winner, it is our duty as a party to let our partisans and supporters know the response of the party and what actions we have decided to take. We declare that the conduct of the senatorial election was marred by many irregularities. Some of these were outright illegal actions that impacted the results. We have placed them into several categories. One, pre-election manipulation and malpractices. During the period leading up to the campaign, the National Election Commission conducted the replacement of lost and damaged voter registration cards only in Vanyama and Kolam, and did not include the other 3 electoral districts. At the time, we demanded that the National Election Commission extend the exercise throughout the county to allow full participation. This demand was not heeded, and that action resulted into many Lofans not being able to participate in the election process. There has been no justification for the action from NEC. The Independent Election Coordinating Committee, ECC, has also highlighted this in their report. We believe this selective replacement of VR cards only in 2 districts, leaving out the others, de-enfranchise many other legitimate voters in Lofa County. Our second pre-election malpractice observation that we also noted with grave concern was the publication of the final voter roll on the eve of the elections. The publication of the voter roll is intended to allow interested parties to observe several things, including names that were left out of the roll that should be there, names that were posted that should not be there, duplicated names, names without photograph or other identifications, etc. The publication of the final voter roll on the eve of the election means that there was no time to make corrections or to authenticate the roll. We see this as an abuse of power. It is also the use of government authority with impunity in order to put the opposition in a disadvantageous position, since manipulation of the roll is made easier when no time is allowed for proper inspections. 2, election day malpractices. The Unity Party poll watchers observed that there were many voters with invalid voter registration cards that were denied the right to vote because their names were not in the final voter roll. This was also observed by the independent observers of the election. The practice in the past had been to allow these voters to cast their votes provisionally so that the votes are included after verification. In most instances, this was not done. On the other hand, our poll watchers also observed that selective voters with no voter registration cards were allowed to vote. This resulted in inflation of the number of votes and made elections unfair in at least 30% of the polling places. We also observed vote buying on elections day. Some politicians were interfering with the election by offering to pay voters who took pictures of their votes and presented them as an evidence of how they voted. This act is illegal, and we call on the authorities to immediately investigate this and bring the perpetrators to justice. Unity Party offers to work along with this investigation team in this regard. We also observed that on the day of the election, there was an unusually heavy presence of armed officers of the Armed Forces of Liberia and the Liberian National Police in Lofa County. The manner in which they conducted themselves was intimidating to the local people and resulted in many voters shying away from the polls. Again, we point to the abuse of power by those in authority with the intent to impact the elections. The heavy presence of armed men was unprecedented and unnecessary, and in our opinion, only used to intimidate voters. We call on the authorities to justify this abuse of power. Number 3, post-elections. On Thursday, June 30, 2022, the National Election Commission announced provisional results from the by-election. During the night hours of the same day, the results were posted on the website of the Commission. What was posted shocked many Liberians and international observers. Our very capable technical team quickly observed the following discrepancies in the result posted on the next website. A, results from some centers, for example, Foya Market Hall in District 1, were doubled, thereby presenting more votes per candidate than the total number of registered voters. B, result posted from many of the centers had candidates Joseph Pato Jala and Marma Fufana names appearing at least 2 times each and showing that they had gotten different vote totals at the same polling place. C, candidates who contested in previous elections were also listed as having won votes in these elections, even though they did not participate. Some candidates from 2020 were listed, and in one instance, a candidate from 2011 was also listed. D, following an immediate highlighting of the social media of the unimaginable results posted by the Election Commission on the website by our technical team, and the resulting public outcry by Liberians in and out of Liberia, the National Election Commission quickly shut down its website to the public. Hours later, when the website was restored, we saw that different results were posted. the NEC, who later informed the public that there were attempts to hack its website. In accordance with international electoral practice, a declaration about elections results is usually associated with rigged elections. To ensure transparency, election results should be disaggregated to enable the key stakeholder to obtain comprehensive information regarding the process. The bulk result announced by the NEC is clear indication that there were some things going on that were unusual. This is made more evident by the fact that the Commission had up to 15 days to announce the result. This is sufficient to make the announcement in detail as to the polling place and the number of votes per candidate. F, we continue to observe that the numbers published by the Election Commission do not add up and that the totals and the percentages were not making sense. Members of the public have observed that attempt to print from the NEC website results in completely different information being printed. This has led us to believe that the information provided by the public to the public could not be different from the actual figures that the NEC has in its possession. G, we are greatly troubled by NEC's statement that there were attempts to hack its website beginning on the 30th of June, when, as a matter of fact, the election's results were announced after this date. Was the hacking successful, or was there any hacking at all to this date? Was the hacking successful as it was repeated? These are legitimate questions that we ask in light of the things that have been done in these elections. We submit to you, fellow Liberians, that what was posted by the Commission on its website was a product of NEC itself, and these efforts are geared towards changing the results of the election. Fellow Liberians, we cannot list all of the many data-related glitches that we have uncovered here. These two deliberate violations stated above clearly cast doubts on the validity of the result announced by the National Election Commission and undermine the sanctity, credibility, integrity of the votes cast in Lofa County on June 28, 2022. Unity Party and her allies take these many violations seriously, and they have the effect of NEC selecting a senator of Lofa County. How insulting to the Lofa people. The people of Lofa County deserve better than an irregular and mistake-prone process presided over by the National Election Commission. Over and over, we have questioned the credibility and capacity of the NEC to conduct free and fair elections in Liberia. Their open display of partisanship is also a troubling matter. We do not believe that the Commission, as currently constituted, can hold credible elections in Liberia in 2023. In view of the foregoing, the Unity Party and its allies are convinced that the current election commission is not representative of the people's interest and should therefore be scrapped and replaced by a competent and partisan-free NEC to prepare for 2023 general and presidential elections. Our country has come through so much and cannot continue to trade peace with disorderly elections. We, therefore, ask our partisans, the United Nations, the United States of America, the European Union, the African Union, ECOWAS, and all friends of Liberia to ensure the future of our country in this endeavor. Meanwhile, our legal team will be communicating with the National Election Commission to establish our final position on Lofa. Again, we are grateful to all those who one way or the other contributed to our campaign. May God bless you.
Thank you.
Amanda!
Away!
Amanda!
Away! Thank you.
Thank you.
Muya, muya.
Yeah, we'll take three. Thank you. We'll take 3 questions.
I'm first, Satan.
Yeah, thank you. Maria.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello, we finish it.
All right, thank you. More.
Yeah, come in. Yeah, go ahead, Maria.
All right, so my name is Manuel Couture, I report for Sport FM and Sport TV. In your deliberation, you made mention of the fact that prior to the elections commission only allowed voter registration or checking of or the voter roll in Vonjama and Kolahom. Was there an end point that the Unity Party took this matter to the National Election Commission? And if yes, what was done by the National Election Commission?
The question was raised as to why, and they decided not to respond to it. They just ignore it, that's all.
Yeah.
Thank you. My name is
After
Gil
him,
Williams.
then the.
My name is Gil Williams, and I report for Focus on Liberia Online Television. Ambassador Walker, you mentioned that selected voters were allowed to vote without voter cards. Can you tell us where did that happen specifically?
In FOIA,
Okay, FOIA.
yes,
Okay.
at the FOIA market.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take him lastly. Thank you.
My name is Arvin Woody, and I work for the Daily Reserve Newspaper. You just mentioned that there were names on the candidate listing that participated in 2011 and 2017. You care to mention their names? And secondly, what does this mean for Lofa County, the party moving down to independent candidate, Councillor General?
The names of those that were on the election ballot that were not part of this current election. I think there are people here who can tell you them, but that's the report that we got. If you have the names.
Yes, Stanley McLean participated, I think.
He was not part of this
2011.
election.
We have Fomba Kane, they were all listed there. We even had the name of Jalapato appearing 3 times as an APD candidate, as an independent candidate 2 times. Mariamu Fofana appears as an ALCOP candidate and also as an independent candidate. It's okay. We said 3 questions, Mr. Stenberg. Thank you.
What is it?
What does this mean for Lofa going down to
Independent candidate, Councillor
To independent. So what?
That's why NDC have on their paper, independent candidate, Councillor Joseph Jara.
Well, Councillor Joseph Jala has proven to you that he was not as independent as he mentioned. And the controversy is Councillor Joseph Jala further said that he was chairman of LPP. Now, chairman of LPP run as independent and now becoming CDC. You can deduce what you want to do out of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the press.
Well, folks, this is we'd like to wrap it up on this live broadcast here. Just to see the likes of the Unity Party candidate there, Kalakba Kutiman, and that of the leaders of the ALP, Benana Yure, the chairman of the Unity Party, Ami Moda, and the Secretary General Mo Ali. At this point, the Senate Bearer of the Unity Party, we take leave of us. We want to say thanks to every one of you for being part of this live broadcast. My name is Senatorial on behalf of the entire team. Thank you for watching.